So I just a second ago hit the recording button, and over here the clock says it's 2:01 a.m. So rather late. And I know what you're saying, Sohum, go to bed. I tried. I could not fall asleep tonight, at least not easily or not without taking like a mega dose of melatonin. Um, I had all this extra energy, a lot of it anxious, but more of it being creative, and I wanted to make some videos for you guys. And I took a look at my request list and saw a bunch of artists and songs that, some of them I know, others I don't. And I was asking myself, like, what do I want to listen to right now? What kind of genre, vibe, feel, artist, whatever it may be? What would I prefer to listen to right now? And two thoughts popped into my mind. First is that I wanted to listen to something that is more subtle. It could be subtle in terms of its lyrics, in terms of its melody, in terms of its presence, and maybe just its overall gravitas, but something subtle. And my second consideration was something that is also thought provoking. And today we're going to be reacting to Buck 65, who checks off both of those boxes quite easily. I feel like so much of his discography, despite all of the craziness we hear in his arrangements, in his mixes, the uniqueness of each of the songs, they all have their own identity, and oftentimes there are so many subtle components that make each of these songs shine. So from that perspective alone, the subtlety, it is there, and you may even say like he is unsubtle in how subtle he is. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're going to go with it. It's 2 a.m. And definitely the thought-provoking lyrics. You could do dissertations on his lyrics. So it's going to be a fun reaction today, or tonight rather. We've got 3 songs to check out. The first is Pack Animal. The second is Up in the Middle. And lastly, Soar. These recommendations come straight from Graham the Tenacious. So thank you very much, Graham, for your generous support and these recommendations today. It is much appreciated, my friend. But yeah, enough of me. Let's jump into the music. I mean, immediately there's so much I want to talk about.
One of the best. All-time top 5.
So textured.
They gave me a long tail and strong back, manageable adult male, the ultimate man slash pack animal with long black eyelashes and laser vision ability. Long distance endurance, combined precision, agility. Built-in suede harness, jock strap saddle system. Available now in stealth mode, battle position. Bulletproof brainstem and interchangeable faceplate, removable emotion detection.
It's so interesting because like the drums sit right below you, but in front of you. And they're just tapping away, creating this unique bubbling texture, like from the snare especially. And then you have these phasing kind of effects in your right and left headphone, surging up and then falling down, and then the other rises and falls, and there's sort of like an asynchronicity happening between those two. And then Buck's voice just sits plainly in the middle at the usual, I would say, Buck 65 meter. Let's see if we can deduce from the lyrics what's going on in this.
Built-in suede harness, jock strap saddle system. Available now in stealth mode, battle position. Bulletproof brainstem and interchangeable faceplate. Removable emotion detection response program. Tastes great, easy to swallow, improved formula. Normally removable wings and weapons sold separate. Half rubber, half gelatin. My skeleton is copper plated. Outnumbered robot body is coin operated. Erasable memory bank, remote controllable chokehold, replaceable shoulder yoke separator. Second-hand respirator, funky, fresh wrist action. My colorful costume creates the distraction. Clear a path and keep cracking the whips, or keep smiling and stacking the chips.
Something about like he is being replaced by various mechanical parts. Something about him is not actually real or human. I love that line, my colorful costume creates the distraction. It looks like lights, glitz, glamour, all of this technology, all of these improvements, yet it's all there to obfuscate from the truth, whatever that truth may be.
Clear a path and keep cracking the whips. I'll keep smiling and stacking the chips. I don't need love, just a kick in the ass. And I'll make you a rug with a picture of your face on it. Clear a path and keep cracking the whips. I'll keep smiling and stacking the chips. I don't need love, just a kick in the ass. And I'll make you a rug with a picture of your face on it.
I mean, the melody is subtle as ever.
Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. They parade me around like a goddamn polar bear. They say I'm demented and I invented the solar flare. I tap dance in a rap stance, run laps and do the dishes, and soon light moonlight if it's not too suspicious. There's not enough sand in the hourglass for romance, even though I would love to have sex and slow dance. Oh well, there's work to do, ditches to dig and a wig to wear, and even when they don't fit, my head's too big to care. I remain funny-faced as long as no money's wasted. Orphan gorilla gets silly as soon as the honey's tasted him. Dumb in the dirt, but my enthusiasm's unbridled. Blindsided, stunt double, most of my songs are untitled. Not unless you...
I gotta pull this back. I'm trying to thread the needle in terms of meaning on this track. It's a hard one.
In a wig to wear, and even when they don't fit, my head's too big to care. I remain funny-faced as long as no money's wasted. Orphan gorilla gets silly as soon as the honey's tasted him. Dumb in the dirt, but my enthusiasm's unbridled. Blindsided, stunt double, most of my songs are untitled. Not unless you want trouble, don't front on the frosted flakes. The spinach it cost to break even, gone before you finish. Zzzz, zzzz, my ass writes the checks. But somebody's got to suck the blood when they bite the necks. Clear a path and keep cracking the whips. I'll keep smiling and stacking the chips. I don't need love, just a kick in the ass. I'll make you a rug with a picture of your face on it. Clear a path and keep cracking the whips. I'll keep smiling and stacking the chips. I don't need love, just a kick in the ass. And I'll make you a rug with a picture of your face on it.
It is not easy at all to understand this. I'm trying to like hone in on some of the repeated lyrics here to see if I'm gonna learn through repetition, but the lines, chain him like an animal, forget he's a man, chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. There's like, in terms of themes in this song so far, it feels like we're getting a lot of dehumanization. I mean, and being an animal in a pack animal, it's almost like you aren't of importance, you're just one of the horde, is what it seems like. Clear a path and keep cracking the whips, that also gets repeated here, implying that he is in servitude to whatever, to whoever, I don't even know. Because clear a path and keep cracking the whips, I'll keep smiling and stacking the chips. I don't need love, just a kick in the ass, and I'll make you a rug with a picture of your face on it. So that, to me, like the rug with the picture of your face on it, almost reminds me of those Persian rugs with like tigers on them, for example. So it's like he's simultaneously playing the position of like the whip bearer, or the person like keeping all of the animals in line, but then also maybe taking the position lyrically as one of the animals. That's where I'm at so far. Very interesting.
Ass, now make you a rug with a picture of your face on it. Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man. Chain him like an animal, forget he's a man.
Like, thought-provoking is such an understatement for this. And just Buck 65 in general. Don't worry, this is a tease. this like scratch, and that just like echoes. Now the phasing again. I love the way they travel through your headphones. The texture of the scratching here, and when it's to the beat, it's even nicer. Yeah. That's an interesting one. You know, I don't know if I've ever brought this up in one of my Buck 65 reactions on the channel, but strangely, I am reminded of some of the score, some of the soundtrack in the movie Requiem for a Dream. If you don't know that movie or haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it with, I guess, a trigger warning, because there's a lot of crazy imagery and themes in that movie that are not for the faint of mind and heart, but are also very illuminating of some of the true horrors we as humans face, especially in terms of addiction. I'm just reminded of some of the soundtrack in that movie with the record scratches, with some of the like almost like frenetic energy that brings about. The pack animal, I'm thinking of like what, like how that fits into all of it. I think where I'm landing at now is that Buck in this position, he's the big he's the big man. You know, I think in the very beginning of the song he said he's, you know, one of the best top 5 people of all time or something. And he positioned himself with that air of excellence and superiority, and now he's cracking the whip, he's clearing the path, he's having others kind of do the dirty work and bring him to the place that he needs to go, but in so doing he's dehumanizing them and really treating them no better than pack animals there to carry his load and, you know, make his life easier, but without any consideration of how that person, or in this case pack animal, may be feeling. That treatment just kind of goes, I guess, they go uncared for. That's where I'm at. I could be very wrong, but interesting mix too. I mean, like I said, I just kind of like outlined it in the beginning, but the snares, the drums down below us, Buck's voice right in the middle, the phasing on the left and right, and there was like sort of like this sweeping melody above, though it wasn't much of a melody. It was more like a single high-pitched note that would like sort of slide up and down that was resting above us. I don't know, it's like in the canopies of this song. Let's check out the next one. Let's do it. This beat already has me. Oh, I like the melody just building.
Yeah,
turned it up.
From the 902, top the line. It's Buck 65, full blown. Combinating with Johnny Rockwell and the Senator. Double dipped.
I've absolutely heard this melody before. It may be a sample. What context would I have heard this in?
Combinating with Johnny Rockwell and the Senator. Double dipped. Yo, right about this time next year, with certain others digging up bones. I got a flat chest and a head like a rat's nest. Not to mention that I'm harder than a math test. I'll leave you lying face down, naked from the waist down. After that I'll go back and burn your place down. Eat the cheese out of your handy snack, then I'll call your granny back. I got a great big water cash in my fanny pack. The flat bus broken, the angel dust smoking. Man with the handcuffs on. Just joking, I describe myself as a half-decent sax player. Amateur coin collector, John Q. taxpayer. Shy around girls with my face all scarred. The only thing in my wallet is a baseball card. I live in the city, but I miss farming life. All I need to survive is my Swiss Army knife. The story of my childhood is bad luck and crises. Born in the year of the rat, and I'm a Pisces, which makes me a ratfish. So I'm gonna...
My girlfriend would hate this song only because of the excessive rat lyrics and imagery. She is an absolute hater of rats. They cause her immense fear. Anytime in any environment where rats may or may not be present or a reference to them is made, she will be the first to pick up on it. I have to keep this song a million miles away from her.
Farming life. All I need to survive is my Swiss Army knife. The story of my childhood is bad luck and crises. Born in the year of the rat, and I'm a Pisces, which makes me a ratfish. So I'm gonna soon meet someone to tie my shoes and spoon feed me. Can't wait till the day when I ride around in rocket cars. Wear short sleeve shirts and all I eat is chocolate bars. Take my place for granted and assume the position on top of the heat, because soon the tradition of winning the game with one swing of the bat will forever be a thing of the past.
Oh, the beat changed up here. This melody, man, let me know where this is from.
If I be myself, I'll be by myself, but I don't want to be remembered by the way I've been rendered. If I be myself, I'll be by myself, but I don't want to be remembered by the way I've been rendered.
Oh,
No,
I like those lyrics. If I be by myself, I'll be by myself. But I don't want to be remembered by the way I've been rendered. Oh, I feel like you could take that a few ways, but I mean, like, the way it starts is, like, profound enough. If I be by myself, I'll be by myself. Or maybe it's just tautological and it's more of like a non-statement, but just restated in two different ways. If I be by myself, I'll be by myself. Like, if I'm lonely, I'm lonely, I'm lonely. If I'm me, I'm me. If I'm by myself, I'm by myself. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I don't want to be remembered by the way I've been rendered, which implies that he doesn't want to be remembered, let's say if he passes away, by the misrepresented perception of him, right? Because so often people will remember you how they remember you and not actually as you were. And that's the sucky part, is that we don't have control over these things. I mean, we hardly have control over how we're perceived when we are present in the same room as somebody we're talking to. You know, we have a first conversation with somebody and they come away with some understanding of you, and it's always going to be some percentage of information that they had was incorrect, or, you know, the other being correct. It's never 100% is the point. So to hope for that even in the afterlife, like, it is a far cry from being able to actually achieve that.
if I be myself, I'll be by myself, but I don't want to be remembered by the way I've been rendered. No, I don't know. 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 No, I don't know.
Is this Metallica? I'm like trying to remember where this. There's some melody where this is from. I don't remember. Super digging this melody though. It drops out now. Back to the record scratches. Whoa.
Why don't they sound trumpets and release flocks of doves for me? I gotta be particular about how my career's handled. Before I record, I should go and get my ears candled. I'd like a glass of water and a box of facial tissue. Doing what I do has really never been a racial issue. Someday soon, though, I'm gonna have to settle down before my bones start making that metal on metal sound. The difference between me and other people is the greased palms. I was never one to hold my breath when I release bombs. It's possible that I could be huge, but I doubt it, cause my phone's off the hook. But that's about it. Handling my biz, I should really do a shipment and try to make some money to buy some new equipment with a brand new mic in a room with insulation. Colored pencils, all I need is inspiration, which brings me back to this hot and sweaty cage. The worn out mattress and the poster of Betty Page. I look at people, look at me, how am I supposed to feel? Showing me a picture that isn't even close to real. The final approach is upon me, I can feel it, so I might call.
See, there it is. I look at people, look at me. How am I supposed to feel, right? They see the version of me that is shown. They understand what they think they understand, but it's not actually real. The final approach is upon me.
Call the song I was right all along. Or I might call this song I've never had stitches. Or I might call it Mr. Know-It-All. Or Don't Forget the Chaos. Or Two Sizes Too Big. The Hydra Twist. The Seam River. Creative Differences. No Time to Lose. Or Beasts, Beasts, Beasts. Yeah, Beasts, Beasts, Beasts. Beasts, Beasts, Beasts.
This is just like froggy bass below.
Beasts, beasts, beasts. Yeah, beasts, beasts, beasts.
Super interesting. I think out of the two we heard so far, I think Up in the Middle melodically had me more locked in. And I even think in terms of the beat, that just slow moving bounce, it is just such a perfect vibe for that late night feel, like I was kind of referring to towards the beginning there. I like the song. I like that he's just like in his he's in his bag. He's drawing from so much inspiration from his own life and understanding that, as an artist, he is going to view himself a certain way and others are going to view him several different ways. And I even think of the sort of passage at the end that he's bringing about of what he even wants to name his song. He could name it 12 different things. That's from his perspective. That should tell you, that should be an indication that when you yourself can view yourself 12 different ways as a multitude of different attributes, or you can loosely define yourself a multitude of ways that don't have consistent structure, or you wouldn't necessarily even relate the different categorizations as easily as others may like to. Therefore, anybody else who tries to label you and tries to understand you, they are going to do something far less accurate potentially than you might even for yourself, because you already have such a broad view of who you are, and now others, they have this sort of second order effect. If you think about it from like a perspective of, I guess, measurement error, if you don't fully know yourself, how could anybody else fully know you either? And there is wisdom and there is perception, but there is perspective too. We differ on so many of these things. At some point, it's best not to overthink it and just accept that we as individuals don't know everything, and there's a sort of gracefulness that we can experience when we accept that we don't know it all, even if it relates to who we are. Let alone being able to control how we're perceived by others. There's just no possibility to exert that level of control. We will drive ourselves mad trying to do so. I think this whole social media experiment, the last 20 years of people putting their lives online and engaging with one another through this medium that didn't exist in the same capacity prior, it all tells you that no matter what you put out there, people still won't understand you 100%. It's okay. It is okay. Again, with my own analysis, this is not going to be an accurate depiction of everything that he brought up in this song up in the middle, but it is just where my mind goes when I think about it. But would love to know where those melodies came from, if they are samples from Metallica or from any other place that I should be more familiar with, because they sound so familiar to me. Last up is Soar. That was loud. Okay. This is a really interesting beat. And I love that the melody is in this like weird instrument. It is so like withdrawn from this
Vultures
mix.
and helicopters overhead have broken down. Used car blues, it's no time to joke around. The only solution I can think of so far is to smash out the windows with a crowbar. And as the headlights shatter into stars one by one, I curse at the road and try to knock out the sun. I kick in the quarter panel, son of a whore. The paint starts to chip off as I rip off one of the doors. Piece of crap. 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 Crap.
Wow.
Piece of crap. Crap.
There's a song called Lucifer Effect by Hobson and Swizz. I'm just reminded of some of the vocal effects that were used on Swizz's voice during the recording of that song, and I'm just hearing part of that energy here. Yeah, it's a very specific reference, so you'd have to check it out on your own time.
Piece of crap. Same motel room again with the right mixture of terrible smells and dead flies in the light fixture. I listen to the oldie station, half asleep and kinda smoky. Girl in the next room is howling like a coyote, hand in my pants. Feeling like a Philistine, all eyes empty, every doorway a guillotine. I'm drunk on loneliness, out of shape and half-eaten. Phone don't work and God's in his staff meeting. I'm no good for nothing. 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 At a breath at the end of a long summer, waiting for a phone call that isn't a wrong number. A smile from a pretty girl, feet don't fail me. I sleep like a baby and get out of jail free. I spit my teeth in my hand and read the...
It's like he needs an ounce of attention, and he's like clinging on to every little possible intentionally directed attention towards him. But also simultaneously, even in the previous bar, I'm drunk on loneliness, out of shape and half-eaten, almost implies to me he's sort of like romanticizing his own loneliness, which is a very strange position to be in, because it's like you're simultaneously wanting to rid yourself of the loneliness, but then often you recreate similar circumstances or behavioral patterns that bring you right back to your loneliness. I've only come to a conclusion like that because I know that in the past I've done that for myself. I think that's part of what's happening here.
Get out of jail free. I spit my teeth in my hand and read the classifieds. Poke holes in my memories until I'm satisfied. I'm drawn to familiar environments and dangers. I look at my photo albums and all I see is strangers. What is my problem?
And all these songs have had like a sort of switch up towards the end where the lyrics mostly drop out. The bass is very pronounced here. Yeah, super catchy bounce. Just nice syncopated beat. Yeah, there you have it. That is Buck 65 Soar. Wow, three very interesting tracks today. Like, because I was thinking, like, man, between the subtle and thought-provoking attributes that I was looking for, Buck 65 I already knew would have it, but truly I feel very validated in my expectations for today, just because of how it worked out. I felt like out of all three of these tracks today, Pack Animal was the most subtle out of the three, especially as it related to its melody, this melodic component. In terms of how thought-provoking all of these songs were, I think I would put Pack Animal and Up in the Middle above, in the higher tier, and then maybe Soar right below. For no particular reason other than just how I feel about my ability to interpret the lyrics. I think Pack Animal, in terms of lyricism, I think just had me more engaged, more so than the other two tracks, but melodically I was right there with Up in the Middle and right there with Soar. So I feel like with all three of these tracks today, each song brought its own let's say, skills to the forefront, to the table here, which I always appreciate. I find it interesting, like when I get requests for different artists, and if I get triple requests, just to be more specific, I find it interesting, like how those songs are similar to one another and differ from one another, and in my own preferences, where they stand. And if you ask me those questions for these three tracks today, I wouldn't be able to give you the same ordering of a list. If you asked me across multiple attributes, that ordering changes. And for me, that's what makes listening to an artist at full length, more of their discography outside of just one or two songs here or there. It makes it that much more enjoyable to listen to, because it's not just one flavor of their skill set that you're hearing in an isolated song. You get to hear how that skill set evolves across their discography, and how other skill sets are employed to buttress what's already been established. And the styles evolve and things get cleaner, the production changes. There's a whole host of things we could talk about there. So not to get too far away from Buck 65 today, but you can always hear it in his music how he's decided to kind of develop his work. It feels like in these three tracks today, somehow, some way, they were all building first lyrically. Well, I guess at the jump, there's like a brief intro, then the verse 1 happens, then there's a refrain, then verse 2 happens, then that outro refrain will exist. It seems like that's a consistent structure, and then the rest of it will be handed off to the instrumental. That hasn't been the cookie cutter song structure for Buck 65 as I've listened to him before on the channel. So it seems like he has all kinds of tricks up his sleeve, is the long and the short of it. But yeah, out of all these songs today, I think my favorite was Up in the Middle because of the melody and lyrics. But then it's like a close toss-up between Pack Animal and Soar. So I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments. Let me know what you thought about these tracks today, or my reaction, or just leave a handy dandy comment for the YouTube algorithm. That's all gravy too. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request one yourself, please hit the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.